So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
He signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
So young Justin Bieber, who was signed by Usher, involved with Scooter Braun, now all of a sudden he's being put in the hands of Diddy, who, it is true, he became the legal guardian for Usher. You can look up all of the allegations of what Diddy did to Usher. A lot of this coming out via multiple lawsuits that essentially, if we were to put it in a nice context, or at least use a euphemism for something that's really disgusting, the allegations are essentially that Diddy very much initiated Usher into Hollywood.
Candace Owens didn't open with her trademark sharp delivery. Instead, there was a pause before she even stepped into the topic. Not traumatic, just heavy. The kind of silence that signals discomfort, not confidence. When she finally began, her tone was lower, slower, noticeably measured. This wasn't outrage. It felt like disappointment wrapped in sadness. What she had been revisiting about Justin Bieber's teenage years had clearly stayed with her. She admitted it troubled her how long it took for the fuller truth to reach the public.
Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
She explained that people often speak about Justin Bieber as though he arrived in fame fully prepared, fully developed, ready for everything that followed. But that version of events isn't accurate. Justin wasn't a grown man when his career exploded. He was 15 years old, a kid. Candace stressed that at that age, judgment is still forming, boundaries are still being understood, and trust can be misplaced far too easily. That's the part people skip over, she said quietly. They celebrate the success, but ignore the cost paid by someone too young to truly protect himself. Candace reflected on how the entertainment industry packaged Justin's rise as a dream narrative. A kid from nowhere becomes a global sensation. But behind that glossy story, she argued, was a teenager carrying adult responsibility without adult protection. He was generating millions for those around him, yet had almost no control over the environments he was placed in. When Diddy entered Justin's orbit, Candace said the power imbalance became impossible to ignore. What was presented to the public as mentorship now feels very different when
he did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they loved me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and yeah, so, yeah. I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So, yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
I'm not even kidding. Watching that clip makes me emotional because he is saying so much without really saying anything. And in this one video, it looks like whatever Justin is doing, and I'm not going to show it out of just respect for the fact that I truly believe that Justin Bieber is a victim. But whatever he is doing in this video with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. looks highly suspicious. I can show you a still from that video because I think the relevant part is Justin Bieber is not sober. He is clearly very heavily under the influence at this party. And if you remember that lawsuit that the producer Rodney dropped against Diddy, he said that unbeknownst to all of these people, they were being drugged at Diddy's parties, that they were pouring out the liquor bottles and replacing it with other drugs. He kept
I gotta feel that experience. I'm coming back. Go good. Happy New Year!
New Year. She revisited old footage of Diddy speaking publicly about spending time with Justin. At the time, it played like a lighthearted celebrity moment. Candace admitted watching it now feels unsettling. The way Justin was referenced, the ease with which boundaries seemed brushed aside. Candace shook her head, explaining how effortlessly the moment passed without scrutiny. That wasn't guidance, she said softly. That was control being normalized. What unsettled her most was learning that Diddy allegedly had temporary authority over certain aspects of Justin's life during those early years. Not just casual influence, but structured access to his schedule and presence. Candace slowed again here, clearly weighing each word. When a powerful adult has that level of access to a teenager, she said, the responsibility is enormous. And when that responsibility is abused, the damage doesn't disappear just because.
Unearthing videos of Justin Bieber at Diddy parties. Now, Justin Bieber was obviously extremely young when he entered the industry, extremely innocent when he entered the industry, an industry that he did not quite understand as a boy who just knew how to sing and play the guitar and just did both of those things on YouTube. Then he was scooped up and suddenly he was a part of people like Diddy going after him and saying, hey man, why don't you pick up my phone calls? There's actually a video of that. Diddy and Justin Bieber looks to be like 15 years old and said, why aren't you picking up my phone calls? And he's like, oh, I know you were trying to contact me through people and I don't have your number. And the next thing we know, Justin is at Diddy's parties.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah, my number. As she continued, Candace referenced accounts from insiders describing private environments Justin was reportedly brought into. These were not spaces designed for a teenager. They were closed, controlled settings where Justin appeared uncomfortable and out of place. Candace avoided dramatic language, but the sadness in her voice made the message clear. She described Justin as quiet, withdrawn, visibly uneasy in rooms where he should never have been expected to feel normal. That image stays with you, she said, a kid trying to shrink in a room full of adults. She then spoke about the years that followed when Justin's struggles became public, emotional breakdowns, exhaustion, moments tabloids turned into punchlines. Candace admitted that many people, herself included, once saw those episodes as immaturity or entitlement. Looking back, she said that judgment feels unfair. Those weren't tantrums, they were cracks forming from pressure that began too early and went unchecked. She referenced past interviews where Justin seemed guarded. When certain names or chapters of his life were mentioned, his body language told a story his words didn't. People underestimate how much the body remembers, she said. You can smile and still be bracing inside. The sadness in her voice deepened as she acknowledged how many signs were visible long before anyone chose to read them honestly. What weighed on Candace most wasn't only Diddy's role, but the silence of others. Managers, executives, industry veterans, adults with influence who didn't step in. She didn't accuse them of cruelty, she described absence, a failure to act. Sometimes the harm isn't just what happens, she said. It's what people allow to continue because it's easier not to get involved. She spoke about fear and reputation, about how Diddy's power made people hesitant to challenge him. But Candace made it clear that the cost of that hesitation landed on Justin. He was the one who lived with the consequences, she said quietly, not the adults who remained comfortable. As the discussion moved forward, Candace shifted to Justin's efforts later in life to rebuild, stepping away from chaos, seeking stability, leaning into faith and personal growth. She spoke respectfully about how difficult it is to heal from experiences that happen before you fully understand what's being taken from you. Healing doesn't erase the past, she said. It gives you a way to move forward. Near the end, Candace addressed Diddy directly, not with fury, but with disappointment. Power comes with responsibility, she said, and when that responsibility is ignored, the truth eventually surfaces. Her tone stayed steady, but heavy. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't have to. The weight of her words carried on their own. She closed by returning the focus to Justin. She made it clear this story isn't about defining him by what happened, but recognizing what he survived. Struggle doesn't make someone weak, she said. Surviving it makes them strong. Candace emphasized that Justin's willingness to speak openly about pain, faith, and healing matters, especially for others who endured similar experiences in silence. The segment ended quietly. No dramatic score, no triumphant finish, just reflection. Candace's final thought lingered. We can't undo what happened, she said, but we can finally stop pretending it didn't matter. And with that, the conversation closed, leaving behind not outrage, but understanding, and a long overdue acknowledgement of a child who deserved better.